I cannot believe that WWE made us wait weeks for that reveal. Are you serious? Let's get into it on Screw the Script.
Burn that theory to the ground. Screw the script. No filter for a voice. Screw the script. We are tired of only having one choice.
Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Like I said in the intro clip, 2 nights ago on Raw, since you are watching this on Wednesday, another lackluster Raw. Triple H, once again, for like the 8th time, like, goddamn, Triple H, what are you doing? He promised us a new era. Technically, it is a new era, so he wasn't wrong this time, because John Cena is officially retired. We'll get to that in a second. But Raw right up here, that was the card. You know, Women's World Championship match, that was okay. You have Punk had a promo. Gunther had a promo. The only match that I really liked for the night was the tag team match with the Usos. And then you saw Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. And then at some point or another, I forget when it was, I think it was to close out the show, if I'm not mistaken, we had the mask reveal that has been circulating for weeks on Raw and who it was. I knew it was Austin Theory from the start. I called it on my channel a couple of weeks ago when this started surfacing, and it looks like WWE tried backpedaling almost to try and make it more unpredictable because they had multiple people wear the mask. It's not the same person that we saw in previous instances, but we saw that the reveal was, in fact, Austin Theory. He attacked Rey Mysterio with the curb stomp, allowing Logan Paul to steal a victory. Then he reveals himself to distract CM Punk, who was out to help Rey and allow Braun Breaker to spear him to end Raw. So we saw him twice on Raw. I think it's just a huge whiff for WWE once again. It was just so predictable to have, like, the whole like masked character, I think, doing stuff like that. It's so unoriginal at this point. And I'm not just pointing the finger at WWE. AEW did do this as well recently with Daniel Garcia joining the Death Riders, although I do think that has been helping his career in AEW. I think that is a good pairing. We'll see what happens with Austin Theory. I've wanted them to push him. I just think that the way that they revealed him as the Masked Man and the start of the push could have been done better. Kind of just a letdown. Other things that happened on the night, I talked about the card. Really, the only other thing that I do want to talk about, the Usos having a good win, coming back as tag team. That was the right choice there by WWE, because we all knew Jey Uso was not that guy, and thank God they at least listened with that. Punk cut a promo. The big thing, though, was Gunther's promo. After retiring Cena, and I think a bizarre and, quite frankly, a bad finish to Cena's last match, he was met with an immense amount of boos. He definitely has heat, but I don't think it's the right kind of heat. I'm not going to necessarily say go away heat, but the creative is taking this heat, and Gunther is out there trying his best to do what he can. It seems like he's the new legend killer. That's what I'm going to call him right now. He's the new legend killer. Maybe he'll retire Randy Orton, because it sounds like AJ Styles and R-Truth got in his face on Raw, this past Raw. So it kind of seems like people are lining up to face him, and maybe he's going to knock them down one by one after another, and then ultimately lead to Randy Orton. If they did something like that, I think by the end of it, it would look good for Gunther's career. But for Cena's final opponent, I said this in my last video, he didn't feel like the right fit. He wasn't somebody that ever feuded with him in the past. He wasn't a young upcoming guy that could have taken the push, the rub, so to say. He was none of that. He was just kind of a fill in the blank, like, oh shit, what do we do? Like, we're kind of failing at this retirement tour for Cena, and even Bleacher Report gave it an F. Like, damn, that's, a slap in the fucking face for WWE and Triple H and TKO, Nick Khan, all those people involved. It's a wake-up call. You pretty much whiffed on your greatest of all time for his retirement tour and his final match. It's not like this was Kevin Owens. Nothing to take away from him. But, somebody that wasn't the best of all time, the greatest of all time for WWE. This was your guy. And you know what? Jeff Jarrett said it best, actually, right up here. There's actually a quote from him if you want to read the whole thing. I'm just going to say, basically, he's saying that it was a very poorly done. More or less what I was saying, where you had a guy who has so many Make-A-Wish wishes, more than anybody. He ran off the saying of hustle, loyalty, respect, and never give up, and he gave up. He very much took the words out of my mouth if you pause and read the whole thing. So I definitely agree with Jeff Jarrett and his analysis on the whole ordeal. You let me know down below in the comments what you thought about it. If you haven't seen my last video actually got flagged by WWE, which I think is their 5th time now in my short channel's history. Only WWE. I have not once ever been flagged by AEW. I've never been flagged by New Japan or TNA, although I haven't had much of their content ever on this channel. The point is, I really think WWE is just extremely petty. I wouldn't be shocked if I'm not the only person. There's probably been dozens upon dozens of people talking about what happened this past weekend, and they're flagging them too for any content related to it because they're probably fucking sour, realizing that the shit that went on this past weekend was a fail. Now, there are reports that John Cena, apparently, take this with a grain of salt because it's just a rumor, I believe, he may replace Nick Aldis as a general manager of SmackDown. We do know, in fact, that John Cena did sign a new contract with WWE prior to even having his final match. So maybe it is something like this. Maybe it is some on-screen general manager role. I thought it'd be more so like a backstage sort of thing and maybe doing some marketing to, just get WWE's word of mouth out around when he's on tour, when he's in Hollywood, all kinds of things like that. So, but maybe, maybe he is going to do some on-screen personality. I just don't see him doing that full time again with his Hollywood stuff. I don't necessarily believe this rumor, but we'll see where it goes with that contract that he signed, because there really isn't a whole lot of information out there about it yet. But I did just want to bring that up. But yes, going back to the highlight of Raw was Gunther. I mean, it's hard to believe a guy that looks like Gru from Despicable Me is going to be the guy to be likely the one to retire Brock Lesnar, is a rumor that I'm seeing, and now with AJ Styles and R-Truth. But I digress. You let me know your thoughts on that. Now on to AEW stuff for the remainder of the video. On a positive note, after I got all of that stuff out of the way, here's the card for Holiday Bash, which you guys will be watching here very shortly after watching this video, or maybe you're watching my video after it already happened. If so, let me know down below your favorite match of the night. But I will be posting this video at 4 p.m. Central on Wednesday, so a few hours before this show starts. So let's run through it. You got the contract signing down below. We'll just go from down below towards the top, and we'll finish at the very top there. Yeah, I'm curious where this is going to go. Are we going to see tables break? Usually it does happen with contract signings. I think we're going to get some shenanigans, obviously. We're going to have the rest of the ops probably get involved. We'll see Hangman and Swerve probably team up together and try and take them out. And Samoa Joe will probably run off with the title after the contract signing ends. Yeah, that's all I really have to say on that, but I am very, very excited for this match at World's End. Next, the Diamond Battle Royal. I mean, you got to have MJF return here, right? So he's probably likely to return, maybe a debut. I really can't pick anybody in this. I would like it to be Shelton Benjamin, since I want him to have a push while Bobby Lashley is hurt. I just don't know if they're necessarily going to give him that big of a push. So I don't really have a prediction for this. MJF, if he does return, likely wins because he is the king of the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. But it could really be anybody. Dark horse that I'd like to see win would be Roderick Strong. I think he needs something. Although I don't know if any of the people that are in the Continental Classic are going to be in this. I'm not entirely sure. Next, we got the 8-woman tag match. I think the heels are going to win this, personally. So Team Mercedes is going to pick up the win over Team Tony Storm. Could go either way, but I really like seeing that the women's tag champs are being featured immediately after winning, and they're continuing showing these women tag teams, which is really nice to see. FTR and the Bang Bang Gang for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It's going to be a fucking banger. It's going to be really damn good. FTR is going to come out on top, though. I would be shocked if the Bang Bang Gang wins. We'll see what happens there. Dorada versus Orange Cassidy. Now we're getting into the Continental Classic matches. I've got Orange Cassidy winning this. Pac and Kyle Fletcher. I think Kyle Fletcher is going to bounce back with a win, but we really don't know because, as you see the next match, you've got Jon Moxley versus Roderick Strong. And I kind of go back onto something I've said on my channel where I feel like Jon Moxley, out of all three that are in this Continental Classic, he's going to finish with the least amount of points, and therefore it's going to give Claudio and Pac and Wheeler and Garcia and Shafir the thought of, you know what, he can't be our leader. He is not strong enough. So maybe we see Roderick Strong beat Jon Moxley and we see Pac beat Kyle Fletcher. I'm not entirely sure. It's been extremely unpredictable, so we'll see what happens with the Continental Classic. And then lastly, which probably will be the main event, we've got the Elite reuniting for the first time in, I don't know, like 2 years versus the Don Callis family, which we've got Takesha, Okada, and Hechicero. This should be a blast of a tag team match. I cannot wait for this match. I love the Elite. The Don Callis family is a great heel faction. Obviously, you know I love Takesha. This is going to be interesting because we are definitely going to see Takesha and Okada probably go at it with one another on the same team against the Elite. I have the Elite winning this. It's for $1 million. It should be a really good match. I'm excited to see what happens on BTE following this, regardless if they win or not. BTE has been back for, I think, about 2 months now, and I love it so much that it's back. It's very nostalgic. Actually, on the recent one that happened this past Monday, it seems like the Young Bucks are teasing having a full intro coming back because it maybe it's just me, but it seems like each week it's gotten a smidge longer. Are they going to bring back their old music that they used to come out to? That one of my friends loves that entrance music, so he would be hyped if that happens. I just love every little bit about this. I think that the Elite is a great trio. The Young Bucks being face again is great for business. I think it's been done really well over the course of the last few months with their slow turn back to face. Last thing I want to mention is some Kyle Fletcher news, as he was on the Chris Van Vliet show. If you haven't listened to that, it's a great listen. Kyle Fletcher is awesome outside of pro wrestling. He's a very likable guy. He announced on there that he did sign a new contract, a new multi-year contract with AEW, so he is here to stay for a while, which why wouldn't he be? I mean, he is being pushed extremely well in AEW. He's already been a great TNT champ. He's had great matches like the cage match against Will Ospreay. He's a part of a huge faction in AEW that's a dominant and very well televised faction. He did really well last year in the C2. He's doing well this year in the C2. And I do believe, I'm saying it well in advance, in 2026, Kyle Fletcher at some point or another will be AEW World Heavyweight Champ. He goes on here talking about how he was reached out by WWE. He's speaking with them before he signed with AEW. He says, "We had one kind of official call. At the time, it was myself and Mark Davis as Aussie Open. We had like a Zoom call with them. We spoke about what the deal would entail, that sort of thing. I think when it got to that point, it just didn't feel like the right fit at the time. We didn't get super close. It was kind of like at the point where there was options out there. But AEW was just the right fit for us at the time." And that was on Insight with Chris Van Vliet. I really want to stress on this, the fact that last, couple sentences there where he said at the point where there was options there. WWE isn't the only option anymore for people that are in independent wrestling promotions or want to cross over from New Japan. You have AEW, and that is enough for even the biggest E-stands to hopefully, think clearly and say, yeah, they are competition. That's all I had in this episode of Screw the Script. You let me know down below your thoughts about the 3-hour special Dynamite and Collision that we're going to see later on this evening at the time of you watching this video, or like I said again, if you watch this after the show. Let me know your favorite match from the night. What are your thoughts on Raw? What are your thoughts on Austin Theory being the guy? What are your thoughts on Gunther possibly being the new Legend Killer like I gave him? I coined him the name, the new Legend Killer. If this continues to be a pattern, we already saw it with Goldberg. We have John Cena now. Could it be R-Truth and AJ Styles next, with Randy Orton finishing it off? Let me know your thoughts on all that. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.